And we back once again. It's your boys with no jobbers allowed. As always, I'm your boy Big Ish, and with me, like always, is.
It's your guy Irwin.
And tonight we're gonna have to start off a little bit differently. Normally we shoot the breeze with you, but tonight we're gonna start off on a little bit serious note because of what happened on Raw this week. And we want you to understand, we here at No Jobbers Allowed do take certain things seriously. We know we're in the business of talking about professional wrestling and getting into K-Fob, but wasn't nothing K-Fob about what happened on Monday night. So we're going to get straight to it. Monday night started off with homie Roman Reigns giving a really somber and really heartfelt speech about his leukemia coming back and him having to drop the Universal title. It was sad from all around. I caught it at the end of it. The first thing I did was go to Twitter. Hey, what's Roman talking about? And of course, Roman Reigns has a rabid fan base. And of course, after I sent the tweet, within the first 10 minutes, I got about 10, 15 tweets back talking about his leukemia had came back. So that really tugged on my heartstrings because here at No Jobbers Allowed, you may hear us talk about Roman Reigns and things we would like him to do or things we may not always like about Roman Reigns, such as promos and things like that. But the one thing he said that spoke to me was he said, I'm not coming as you as Roman Reigns. I'm coming to you as a real man by the name of Joe. And I can always respect being real.
Yes,
so
sir.
Roman Reigns, the first thing he did was tell us, hey, my name is Joe, and I've been fighting this thing for 11 years. It was in remission, but it came back. So we here at No Jobbers Allowed really wanted to give our shout out and our thoughts out to Roman Reigns and tell him, hey, man, regardless of what the WWE universe is, regardless of what the professional wrestling world is, we know at the end of the day, you are Joe. You got to take care of you first for yourself and your family. So I want to wish from Big Ish himself, I hope you get better. I know you can beat this thing again, and I can't wait to see you back, bro. I'm looking forward to see what happens when you come back after you defeat leukemia again. What you got to say about this, Chris?
You covered a lot of it. I'm just gonna, kind of cut to the chase with this one as far as, his battle with leukemia, man. Roman Reigns is a very polarizing figure. We wish Joe the best. We wish him the best in his fight with leukemia. And, we're really shooting our prayers and everything out to his family. Get better soon, Joe. We'll see you back in this ring in no time, and I'm sure you're going to beat the shit out of leukemia again. Yeah. With that somber note, after Joe came out and gave us that heartfelt speech, his Shield brethren met him out on the ramp to give him a nice hug and embrace, and you could really, really feel the emotion in that segment. Yeah, very, very heartbreaking thing. Cancer sucks, man. So get better, Joe. Get better, Joe.
You know what, man? Fuck cancer, dog.
Fuck it.
So, but with that being said, man, No Jobbers Allowed is a podcast that want to keep it positive. So we send all the positive vibes out to not Roman Reigns, but Joe, the real man himself. And we're going to keep it pushing, and we're going to go ahead and get into what the listeners come here for. And let's go ahead and get to the next segment of the night.
Yeah, so then after that, Finn Balor came out. And then after Finn Balor was out there, Leo Rush introduced his client, his man, or my man, Bobby Lashley. And I guess we're going to see a match from Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. It got started. I was kind of shocked to see this one happen so quickly after what they went through last week. I expected, a little bit more development as far as this feud's going. But it was a good match. We saw Finn Balor go over on this one where he rolled up Lashley out of nowhere and got the pin.
Don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It was a decent match, but yeah, I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it at all. And as you can see, Big Ish didn't like it at all either. What didn't you like about it?
The fact that it was not a squash match. I love Finn Balor. I know he's over, like he's over in the stratosphere level.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves Finn Balor because there's no reason to dislike the guy. He's very good at what he do. But the storyline, the way it's proceeding is, you got a heel like Bobby Lashley, like a specimen of a wrestler, like stat,
MMA
cocked up,
background,
Diesel,
a
like, you
fighter.
feel me? He
Yeah,
Jack Diesel, and he losing to a Finn Balor.
yeah. It didn't make
Come
much
on.
sense to me. I really saw where they were going with it last week. When he interrupted, and he was just flexing, and I figured he'd come out there and either beat up Finn or do something very heelish. But this again goes with that 50-50 booking that the WWE does, and I don't really understand where they're going with it. I was just more, looking on the bright side that we actually had these two in what I perceived in the beginning as a meaningful start to a feud. I don't really know what to think about this one. I didn't like it, but
Well,
maybe
bro,
we'll see more. I don't know.
if like last week, if he would have jacked up Finn Balor last week, I
Mm-hmm.
can see giving Finn the win this week. I
Or
can
even a
see
reason for the match. Like he would say, "Oh,
exactly.
since you beat me up last week, I want a match with you." And it would have actually added some depth to this feud. But it was just like two guys wrestling.
Yeah, it was very weird. Bobby should have beat him last week. Should have
Oh,
beat him down after Finn's match last week to
mhm.
even set this match up this week. But it
Yeah,
was weird booking for this week. It was just very weird. You try and set Lashley up as a dominant heel, and you have him losing to Finn Balor. It just didn't make sense to me. Once again, listeners, I'm not no wrestling expert. I'm not an insider, but to me as a fan, that just was a bad booking.
didn't
Like,
make sense.
you should have had Bobby as the heel just destroy Finn Balor, but yeah, I didn't do it like that. So I don't know what
Yeah,
there is to come. I don't know what's going to come with Finn Balor going forward with this dub. But like I said,
yeah.
you know what it is, Chris. Listeners, y'all heard us talk about it. If y'all want to see really what we talking about, listen to our last podcast where we discuss the Bobby interference not interference, but Bobby coming in at the end of the Finn Balor match last week to understand why we're so upset about how the booking went this week with Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. But let's not
Yeah.
harp on that too long,
No.
bro. What we got coming up next?
Yeah, we can move on from that one. I really expected, a DQ win by Bobby or a clean. It didn't. No, we won't waste any more time with that one. Next up, we have the returning, I guess, Sasha Banks versus one of Big Ish's favorite, Ruby Riott.
One of my favorite, Ruby Riott. You know what it is. Ruby Riott and the Riot Squad, gang, gang, gang. We out here. Anytime Ruby Riott is in singles competition, I'm marking for her every time, even if it is against the boss. And everyone knows I love Sasha Banks, but it's Ruby Riott all day. Gang, gang. Let's go, bro.
Hey man, and it was a good match, honestly. After watching this, and they did a little bit of back and forth. They're kind of setting up for their match at Evolution, where they had, Natalia was out there. We had some interference from, the Riot Squad and whatnot. And I saw what they were trying to do. Ruby comes away with the win with the Riot kick. And again, I really feel like this is something that, Riot's a great worker. Sasha's awesome. This could have been a singles match that had a better payoff. Could have actually been showcased at Evolution as opposed to the 6-woman tag match, but I liked it because it kind of set up for their match at Evolution. And if you guys want to hear more from what we think is going to go down at Evolution, we actually recorded a bonus episode with our Evolution predictions. But this one was decent, man. I liked it. What did you think about this?
Well, once again, shout out to Sasha Banks. She
Yeah,
is showing no ring rust after her little time off after her injury.
it's like
She
the time
looked
off did her
pretty
well.
good.
She was crisp.
She looked pretty good in the ring, and she sold that Riot kick. She really sold it. But what I was really interested in was the interference from the Riot Squad, because after that you got to see Bayley Natty come in and support Sasha in that. And like you said, it was really to gin up interest in this Sunday's, WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View Evolution. But like I said, what this booking was for. It was a booking to draw interest to that. But I said it in the last pod. I said it on the bonus pod. Though WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View Evolution prediction show that we just put up last week. So check out on YouTube, like and subscribe. But I told you it was just to gin up interest for that. And I have no problem with it as long as we get a payoff after the pay-per-view on Sunday. If we get a payoff where we see one of the two, such as Sasha getting back to dominant form, where we get bookings where she might get back to her main card status, I'm cool with that. Or if we see, of course, Ruby Riott get to a main card status, I'm cool with that too. So that was my opinion on it, listeners. And like I said, watch the Raw replay or watch the match on YouTube. Either way, you will have an enjoyable time because Sasha Banks is Sasha Banks, and she's always good in my book. And Ruby Riott, y'all always know I'm going to mark for her because she's just great. And I can't wait for her stock to go up. So, bro, I don't think we got too much to talk about after that, so let's go ahead and go to the next thing.
So then, we get a backstage promo from Nia Jax about the Battle Royal and how this is her opportunity to become champion again, and she's not going to squander her opportunity. And then we go to the ring, and out comes Triple H and Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, and they cut a promo, on Undertaker and Kane, really hyping up their matchup at Crown Jewel. We get the interruption by the Undertaker and Kane and the Brothers of Destruction. They appear on the screen. They do their normal, they cut their normal promo. It was just normal stuff that we've seen before.
I will say, the Brothers of Destruction video package was better than the promo from Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
in the graveyard, doing a little pouring dirt on the graves of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Their video package cutting promo was a little bit better than Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I don't want to call it stiff because that sounds kind of disrespectful to them because there's legends and they're great. But I think in this one, Kane and Undertaker had the better promo, just in my opinion. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it's just a lot of, and the only thing where, and again, it's a Legends. I love it. It's nostalgia. It's just we've seen a lot of the same thing or very similar things over the past couple weeks building up to this. But I had no problem with it. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's further in that feud. And I can't wait to see the payoff that they're going to get at Crown Jewel. So then moving on from that, we get an updated match card for Crown Jewel also. That Universal title will be decided by Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. So now that is that's just a singles match, which I really thought that they were going to add Drew McIntyre. I mean, they still have time to do it. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. We come back, we get Dana Brooke cuts a promo about the Evolution Battle Royal. So at least they're going towards that. But then we get a promo from Paul Heyman, which was really, really good. A Paul Heyman promo. He's really hyping it up.
Paul Heyman is the best talker of all time. And I say that as a 90s baby. I know people may bring up people before my era. I don't know them. If y'all want to tell me about them, listeners, in the comments, that's perfectly fine. But to me, growing up through the early ages of ECW, growing up through the ECW getting acquired by WWE, Paul Heyman is the best talker of all time. And that's just my opinion and how I feel about it.
If I could have, I always say this, if I could have a couple people to narrate my life, One of them would be good old JR, and the next one would be Paul Heyman. Great talker, hyping us up for this. Eventually, Braun Strowman interrupts this promo. He stops in the ring, stares him down. Braun Strowman goes back and forth, says he's going to beat Lesnar's ass at Crown Jewel, woo, 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 all this stuff. Braun says, he's going to get these hands. It looks like Braun is kind of adopting that role as the face again. He's got the crowd behind him. But then as Braun Strowman goes to leave, Drew McIntyre comes in and lands a hellacious Claymore kick on him.
Bro! I've been saying for about 2 weeks. The Claymore kick is one of my favorite moves to watch get done. He played that last week in the 6-man tag match after Braun slammed up on Ziggler. McIntyre hit him with a Claymore kick. This week
he kicked the shit out of him.
Got to tell him was earlier there was a backstage promo with Drew McIntyre and Ziggler, where Ziggler was like, "Hey, bro, I know you had to do what you had to do last week, but aren't you scared that Braun is going to be out for you?" He was like, "Man, I don't care about Braun.
He's like, I don't give a
Monster Hunter." That's what and shout to the game, the Monster Hunter on PS4. But that's what got me hype about Drew. Was he was like, I'm a monster hunter. I was like, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? So after Braun came out and interrupted Paul Heyman's promo, seeing Drew McIntyre hit Braun with that Claymore kick again was just pretty, bro.
Yeah, it was.
No way to say that. No other way to say that. It was just solid and pretty, bro. That was a beautiful Claymore kick.
And when you think about it, though, Drew McIntyre is not a little dude, man. This dude is going about 6'6", probably 260, 265, flying in the air like that. I think we've been getting, or they've kind of undersold him as the big guy because he's always next to Braun, who's much more massive than he is as far as body fat percentage and just overall weight. But that's a big dude doing an impressive move, so that makes it even 10 times better.
And he flies through the air with him.
Yeah, man.
Too. Like when he hits a Claymore kick, it's one of the premier moves to watch. It's just incredible. So shout out to the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, man, because he's incredible to watch. I'm starting to become a mark for Drew McIntyre.
I love it, man. I love it. Go back and watch some of his NXT stuff too. Really good stuff. Definitely. So then we segue from that and we get an Elias going out to the ring, with his guitar. And we know that somebody's going to interrupt him.
Yeah, that's just the way the game is played now. Interrupt Elias while you're trying to do a song.
So then he gets interrupted by Apollo Crews, which I like the fact that they're showcasing something different. But again, I don't like Apollo Crews' character. There's no reason somebody that big, that talented, should be just relegated to the happy, smiling guy who's just happy to be there. He interrupts, Elias. They come out.
Okay, right here. Let's take a side note. Listener, me and Irwin and a couple of our friends that we have a group chat with about wrestling was talking about this. I posed a question. What do we think about Apollo Crews? And everyone's answer was pretty much the same. A lot of talent, but does not like character. So we want to give the listeners a chance to tell us in the comments, hey, what do you think about Apollo Crews' character? Do you think he smiles too much? Do you think he would benefit from coming to a different character? Because in my opinion, I feel like they need to turn him heel and let him not smile more. And I believe that was Irwin's and our friends' suggestion as well. He has a lot of talent, just not being used correctly. He should not be smiling after getting his ass whooped so many times, being low man on the totem pole. That's what I believe. Yep. But listeners, we want to give you the chance to tell us what you believe. So, Chris, you can continue with what happened next.
So pretty much it's a short match. He loses, gets straight up pinned 1, 2, 3. So again, I don't really know where they're going with this because they've had him interrupt the past couple weeks and talk about how I'm fed up with people passing me up, and then he gets his ass beaten this one. Don't know where they're going with it. Didn't really like it. Didn't really hate it. But after the match, Elias stands tall. He plays his music. He goes to the back. We get a backstage promo from Kurt Angle, hyping up his crown jewel appearance in the World Cup. Then we get another introduction where JoJo introduces Elias again, and Elias says he wants to play a song, and he's out there, he's about to play, and I kind of like where this went. He gets interrupted by Baron Corbin, and Corbin and him jaw jack for a while. Corbin really does a good job of playing the heel authority. Tells him to be quiet, tells him to go in the back. Very good segment. And then eventually this leads to Elias walking back out like the sad guy. Corbin is playing to the crowd, saying he's the man. Then Elias comes back out, whacks him with the guitar like we all want him to do. Now it looks like we've got a
now cut it right here. Cut it right here, bro. He needed to go full Jeff Jarrett. If he was going to do this, he needed to go full Jeff Jarrett, and the WWE should have allowed it. He should have hit Corbin in the head with the guitar and let it explode on his head.
It would have made more sense. Just let it hang up there.
Just for me, because I used to be a huge Jeff Jarrett fan, man. Back in the day, I loved Jeff Jarrett coming out with the guitar and then smashing it over people's head. I understand concussions are a thing, and they're real. And we just got done talking about Alexa Bliss's concussion at a house event not too long ago. So I understand concussions are real. But once again, if you try to protect yourself in the best way, I think you and the person performing the move, if y'all work it out together, I believe y'all can make it look really spectacular. And in this case, I believe if they did that, it would have sold Elias even more on this face turn, because that was a face turn. Attacking your authority got to get you a face turn. So I can't wait to see what happens next with this.
Yeah, I'm excited because now we're shaking it up a little bit since Kevin Owens is gone. He's injured, so we had him and Elias run together for a little while, and now we got Elias on his own as the face character. I think I'm very excited about this, man.
I'm good with it, and I believe I told you like not too long ago I wasn't big on Elias, but after watching him, going back and watching some old matches, and I mean, he's just incredible WWE personality all around.
Yes, like, he's an entertainer.
He's incredible. Like, there's nothing to dislike about Elias, really. So I don't mind this face turn. So I'm just excited to see where we go from next.
Definitely. And from an entertainment standpoint, like whether he's a heel or a face, he's super, super entertaining. And this is what I kind of wanted to touch on as far as, characters like Apollo Crews. Super talented in the ring, but has no character. But look at Elias. Elias is decent in the ring, but we love him because he's so character-driven.
Exactly. Yeah. And that brings me to my next point about Apollo Crews, Titus Worldwide in general. Like, something needs to happen with it. Dana Brooke is about to do her solo thing. We already see the writings on the wall. So what does that mean about Titus Worldwide? Only
that
2
shit's
people?
Over with. That shit's done, man.
You feel me? So why not? If you're WWE, these two are monsters in the ring, or they should be. Why not make them the angry characters that are upset they not getting the correct shine they should have? Apollo Crews, amazing small man with big man personality and ability. And then Titus O'Neil, your great big man that does not get to showcase his move. Nope. They shouldn't be smiling anymore.
Nope,
they could be. Listeners, they could be. Do not take this wrong. They could start a new Nation of Domination. Of course, we ain't gonna call them Nation of Domination because that'd be disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
But just think about it. Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush as a mouthpiece and a stable together, and they done trying to be the nice guys, and they go out and wreck people every week. Who's stopping them? Think about it. Who's on a Raw roster? Think about who stops them if they together. Nobody. Not one person at all. Just think, Titus O'Neil by himself. Bobby Lashley by himself. Ain't nobody you can think of can actually stop those two. Apollo Crews got not only the big man physique, but the little man moveset. He's a high flyer. The entertainment during his matches would be great. Put those three together with Lio Rush as a mouthpiece and come up with a stable.
Perfect stable, yeah.
Dog.
You even got the singles competitor with Bobby Lashley, and then you get the tag team in the stable with, the Titus Worldwide, Apollo Crews, and
think about it. Like, and by next week, listeners, I'll come up with a name for that stable. They need a name that's really dominant. They need a name that would showcase all three's potential and capabilities. I'll come up with a name for that by next week, listeners. Trust me on that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So shout out to those guys. Moving forward, we get the Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey contract signing, which I thought was very, very entertaining. We had some good back and forth banter between Nick. It was much different, which I enjoyed, man. I enjoyed. Wasn't as good as when Ronda killed all of them when talking about their man and stealing their movesets. This one is your normal contract signing stuff, but
hey, I'm not gonna front. Nikki got her. Got her this week. This week on the mic, Nikki got Ronda. Like, let's talk about it because Nikki with the, hey, you talking about us and our men? Well, how about we talk about you? You disappointed your mother. You said you were never going. You said you was gonna be an Olympian. You disappointed her. Like, bro, Nikki was in her bag. So, like, last week I said I was disappointed in the Bella Twins because of how they carried the promo. This week I got to take that back because, like, they came out firing on all cylinders, specifically Nikki, of course. Nikki was on it. Nikki was in her bag, bro. And Nikki got over that night on the promo. And I respect the hell out of that. So shout out to Nikki Bella. And if you watch the No Jobbers Allowed WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View prediction show, you will see I picked Nikki to go over on Ronda this Sunday. So once again, shout out to Nikki Bella. Bro, what you think about Ronda's comeback, though?
Dude, it was a little bit weak, but it's good. It's good that she looked a little bit weak because we needed Nikki to get, like you said, a little bit of shine. Even though Nikki slapped her, and I expected Ronda to put her through a table or something like that. But they're gonna save it for Evolution, and it should be a moment where they have Ronda takes all her frustration out. She's had this pent up aggression from her getting slapped and from her saying that she's a disappointment, and then she's gonna tear her arm off, and I'm gonna be right in the prediction of her going over.
I feel you, bro, but I got Nikki because why would Nikki come back, honestly, if she wasn't going to get over? And like I said, like, it should be a good match. I feel Brie is going to interfere, get whooped by Ronda, but Nikki capitalizes on that. But that's for Sunday. So let's go ahead and continue what happened this Monday.
Okay. So then we get a backstage promo with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They're talking about the journey that they've been on with Roman Reigns and what they got to do tonight. And they're really hyped about becoming the new Raw Tag Team Champions. And they said they're going to do it for Roman, and they love him and believe that. So, we get a little bit of a heartstrings tugged on again, reminding us that Roman Reigns is going through what he's going through. And his brothers in arms are going to win this tag team title for him this evening.
Once again, listeners, it's not about Roman Reigns. It's about the real man going through that, Joe. Shout out to him and his family, but we're going to continue because we don't want to get sidetracked on a darker note. Let's keep it on the lighter notes. Shout out to him. He beat it once. He can beat it again.
He can do it. We believe in him. From that, we go to a women's fatal four-way match, which was saw Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke versus Tamina versus Ember Moon. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Tamina on SmackDown? I feel like we already had this conversation before. But I feel like before Tamina came back, she was on SmackDown and she was hanging out with Lana. And either way, there's no continuity in that as far as that goes. But we get a lackluster women's match where we see Ember Moon going over as she hits Tamina with the Eclipse from the top and gets the pin. Ember Moon stands tall. Her and Nia Jax have a stare down. Again, not my cup of tea as far as this goes. I don't really see any of these competitors as far as standing out. It's good to see Ember Moon get the win, but what do you think about this, Big Ish?
Well, like we talked about in a prediction show, for the Women's Battle Royale, you pick Nia Jax, I pick Ember Moon. That's why I think Ember Moon is going to win it, is because they're trying to push Ember Moon in this situation. If you were going to get Nia Jax, why not just have Nia Jax win this match and then win on Sunday? I think they want to condition us to believe Ember Moon is the next up. And why not have her the next up against the previous woman champion, against Dana Brooke, a high-level competitor, and against Tamina Snuka, who used to be one of the greats. So if Ember Moon can win this, why can't she win this Sunday? And I think that's how they was positioning it, bro. Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You know, I don't agree with Dana Brooke being considered a good performer. I think she's sloppy in the ring. Not a huge fan of her. Tamina has never really been one of the greats. She's been around for a while. She happens to have a really good name because she comes from that Jimmy Superfly Snuka is her father. So really those two, I knew it. One of the winners of this match had to be either Nia Jax or Ember Moon. Because the other two, really, they're not going to push them in the near future.
Goddamn, bro, just say I'm wrong. God damn.
They're not going to be pushed anywhere in the near future. No, you're not wrong. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to. I don't know who's going to win. I really don't care. I still think Nia Jax is going to win. Your way of going, your way with them positioning Ember Moon as an up-and-coming cemented competitor, I like it because it would make these matches actually mean more. If they make her a bigger star, it would actually make me want to watch it more and actually care about it more. So, you know what? It's not about right or wrong. I actually like your take on that. I just can't sit back and let Dana Brooke be classified as a premier athlete, a premier superstar. But yeah,
I just think that's the way the booking has been lately. If you look at it, that for women, that's the way the booking's been. And it's just got the writings on the wall for Ember Moon this Sunday.
And she could win. She really could. I'd be okay with it. But I still think Nia Jax is going to win. But if Ember wins, I will be happy with taking that loss in the prediction show.
For sure.
Yeah. Next, we get a segment with Titus O'Neil and promoting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's several survivors standing with Titus in the ring. They show a video package, and you know, it's these moments always feel good segments. You know, the crowd pops for these breast cancer survivors, and you know, we are all clapping and we all feel good for them. We get a backstage segment with Charlie Caruso is interviewing Hall of Famers Lita and Trish. You know, they're knocking you know, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, and they're saying, you know, we're going to beat them this Sunday. Then of all people, Alicia Fox appears. She starts talking all this nonsense. You know, Mickie jumps Lita and Trish from behind, and Fox and Mickie are beating up Trish, and eventually Trish and Lita come back, and they beat up the two where they're beating them up, and they say this is how it's done in the Attitude Era. You know, I see where they're going with it. I liked it. I didn't mind it. What did you think about this segment?
I liked it. It goes back to the Attitude Era when people are running promos and then getting ambushed. I really enjoyed it because shout out to Alicia Fox. I was a little bit hard on Alicia Fox, but only because I love her and I do not like the way she is being booked. But in this case, she did a really good job. They sold the ambush pretty well. The legends come back, get their comeuppance in the same ambush, and then they go forward with it. I believe it was good all around, bro. That's why I believe the legends take it out on Sunday. I believe Trish and Lita get this win on Sunday, bro.
I liked it. I like this. And again, if they win, I'm with it. I'm with it. Just overall great entertainment. So it was good. I liked it. Moving on, we have our main event for the evening, where we have the Shield, or thirds of the Shield, taking on Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler for the tag team titles. We get a absolutely fantastic match like we've seen between these guys, which ends up with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose actually getting the titles. And the big thing about this match is we finally get the much teased Dean Ambrose heel turn at the end. What did you think about all this? Go take me through how you felt about the match first, and how you feel about the heel turn and how it was done.
So, the match itself was incredible. Like best in-ring competitors right now on the Red brand, going at it, bro.
It was good.
So that was good within itself. Of course, to have the tide turn, when of course the man or the monster among men, Braun Strowman, comes out and looks for Drew McIntyre, was incredible. So of course Drew and Brian going at it, with of course Brian getting the upper hand, so Drew leaving through the crowd leaves Ziggler all alone. So he looking around the ring, see he's left with Seth and DA in the ring, and it just all bad from there, bro. Because after that, Ziggler get his ass whooped.
Yeah, he got beat down, man.
And then, of course, they get the pin on Zig. So it comes your second turn of the night. The first turn we had was Elias turning to a face. And this one was Dean Ambrose going heel. While we expected a heel turn, this Monday night after Roman had to give up the Universal title was the last time I was expecting the Dean Ambrose turn. But I believe because of Roman having to leave and drop the title, they needed to move up timelines. I do not believe Dean was supposed to turn Monday night, but they had to. And it was amazing, bro. Dean turning on Seth after they win the titles and said, "This is what you wanted. This is what you put stock in," was just incredible. And the crowd, that's the best of all time for a heel turn, because they really hated Dean choosing tonight to pull his heel turn. What you think, bro?
You know, I'm with it. I like it a lot. It shakes it up a little bit, actually a lot of it, and it's going to give us again a new rivalry, a new character. Because I feel like once Dean came back with a new look, with a new attitude, they had to change his character a little bit, and he's now going to actually get to, use those heelish tactics, use that angry face, use the bulked up muscles to actually, beat some ass and have a mean streak about him. So I'm for it. I'm with it. They did it on the perfect night, because now we hate him because he's officially broken up the band. First we get Roman Reigns in his very sad moment in the beginning, and then he ends it. No, so now he's the complete asshole as far as everything goes. And I'm with it, man. I like it a lot. It'll get us back with, hopefully they'll start, feuding over the Intercontinental title. We'll get some great matches coming from those two. So I'm very excited for what's to come.
But what does that mean for the tag titles, though, bro?
I don't know on this segment. I don't know, which is really, really good for the first time in a while. It's kind of like they have to defend it. They just can't drop the tag team title. So have a match where they go against, Authors of Pain or somebody like that, and it would just be an opportunity to move those titles off of them and get it on, an established competitor or an established team. But then this is good because, you get Drew and Dolph Ziggler losing to, the Shield an actual tag team. So it doesn't diminish their loss at all because, we expected it. And then if the Shield actually lose the title, it's going to be because, Dean doesn't want to work with Seth Rollins or, they can't get along together. So it's not like anybody's taking an actual legitimate loss. But at the same time, we're bringing up somebody else, whoever gets those titles. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm excited to see. It's going to make me actually tune in.
It should be good.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited. I am very excited. First, I'm excited about Evolution this Sunday, and then I'm excited about Monday, about the ramifications from this past Raw.
Yeah, and it's good because we don't know where they're going with this. And it would have been easy if they would have lost and Dean did a heel turn. They just fight each other. But now that they get the tag team belts in the mix, we don't know what's going on, which is always what makes wrestling the best, when we don't know what's going on, when we can't really predict, and we actually have to tune in and are excited to tune in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Raw. You know what coming next. So it is time for the Blue Brand
The Blue
to
Brand.
come up now.
Start off SmackDown. We get the New Day come into the ring, and they replay them losing to the Bar last week with the help of the Big Show. The New Day cuts a promo, and they can't really get why the Big Show helped them out. And Kofi Kingston says, I don't care who it is. He wants to wrestle somebody tonight. The music hits. The tag team champions come out. And then we have a match, Big Show versus Kofi Kingston. Made me feel like it was 2007 again. Which is not a bad thing. So then Big Show and, first they set it up as, they thought it was going to be Sheamus versus Kofi Kingston. And then, Big Show, or Sheamus changes his mind. Cesaro comes in. Big Show comes in. Then the bell starts. We get a quick match. Big Show wins by DQ after it's an all-out brawl with all of them in the ring. Everybody's fighting each other. Everybody's going back and forth. This ended in just utter chaos. What did you feel about this? How'd you like this?
I don't know, bro. This booking was a little bit difficult for me because I enjoyed the promo. New Day cuts great promos. I enjoyed the fire under Kofi Kingston. But I don't know about you, but I just don't like the way WWE uses Kofi, because this man has been in 7 Money in the Bank matches and never won one. When is he going to get his push? Kofi had deserved a push for a while now, for a long time, and they just won't do it. So him losing Tuesday night was just a long list of things that I have thought has been on the worst side of bookings for him. But against Big Show, come on, man. It's
strange.
Do y'all like Kofi or don't y'all like Kofi?
It's not a legitimate loss. Because it's a DQ. I just don't know why the Big Show needs to help the Bar. It's not like that. The New Day, it's something that they can't overcome, or a mountain they can't top. Adding the Big Show to it just does not make a lot of sense to me. I don't really know where they're going with this one. So I don't dislike it. I don't like it. I'm just kind of very indifferent to it.
Well, who's checking for the Big Show? That's my thing. Y'all didn't even pick a superstar that's really good at getting you over right now. Go ahead.
He's gone. The Big Show, he's really, really, really been, again, when we say about booking, he's been the king of what I call bad booking. He's a monster. He's 7 feet tall. Great moveset. Can do everything. Should be a legitimate legend right now. But he's been kind of relegated to these roles like this, where he turns face, turns heel, turns face, turns heel. Don't know what he's doing. He really has no identity as a character. People in his same peer group. The Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Well, Shawn Michaels a little before him, but Kane. They all have what they're known for. He really doesn't have that. He's just kind of a very wishy-washy 50-50 star. So I don't get it, but hopefully they come up with something that makes this a little bit more exciting.
I didn't like it. I thought the Bar didn't need any help getting over on the New Day.
They don't.
That's my opinion. They didn't need any help getting over. And it was just a weird booking, bro. I don't know, but it was a weird booking. Let's go ahead and go on to the next match.
So yeah, then we get a rematch from last week. We get the Usos versus Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, and I'm gonna go on record with saying I don't like it when you put two stars who are supposed to be feuding with each other or who have some kind of a payoff in the near future. When you put them in a tag team together, it doesn't make any sense. If me and Big Ish are mad at each other and we're gonna go to blows, in 2 weeks and we have something scheduled, why would you have me on a team with this same person working together against?
Bad example, bro. Cause we
I don't like it.
That's a bad example, though. We good peoples, though. Like even when we've been upset at each other, bro, we still had each other back. Now DB and AJ Styles, it's similar, not the same, but they have no animosity towards each other. They're both faces. It's not like a Miz and Daniel Bryan where why would you put two enemies against each other?
But they're going against each other for the biggest prize in the business.
But they're not enemies, though, bro.
They should be, though. That's my thing.
But they're not.
They should be.
They're two faces vying for the same prize. They're not enemies. That's why you can put them together on the same booking for a tag match, because they should be able to get through it together through respect.
I don't like that.
Your point would be very valid if it was a heel and face setup. They are not heel and face.
I think it makes it even more valid that the fact that they're going against each other and again, I get the angle with, the respect, they love competition and they love that and all that kind of stuff. Then why would you team them together then? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have, them facing off against each other? Because they should want to prove who's the best. That's where it should come from.
You need a point of friction. They have no friction.
The point of friction is they're both going towards the title.
No, it's not, bro. Because they both have respect for each other. So it's not a point of friction. The point of friction comes between, all right, now I see the cracks in the armor.
I respect you. Okay, the point of friction is I respect you. You're a great competitor. You're awesome. But you have something I want. You have something that I desire.
Bro, we already settled it that you're the Shawn Michaels of the group and you try to Marty Jannetty motherfuckers. We're talking about the fact that Daniel Bryan, huge face. AJ Styles, a huge face. They have no reason to hate each other.
The reason that they hate each other is that AJ Styles has something that's friction.
Not a reason to hate. Just because you have something I want is not a reason for me to hate you. They have to manufacture a reason for them to hate each other, and that's by the previous week losing because Daniel Bryan hit AJ by accident, and this week AJ hitting Daniel Bryan by accident.
Well, I don't think we're gonna agree on this one.
That's what I'm saying, bro. There's no actual reason to hate each other until you manufacture a reason to hate each other. They're two faces, bro.
But the hate, again, it's built in. Daniel Bryan just came back from out of retirement, and the reason why he said he wanted to come back was to get that title. It's the same thing like with another example, like the reason for hate is, Becky Lynch. Again, it's not the same, but Charlotte had something that she wanted, so she was going to do whatever she had to do to get it. This could be something very similar as to the fact, whereas Daniel Bryan came back to get this title. Daniel Bryan wants this title. He has what he wants. He has what he wants.
Completely two different things.
No, we're not going to agree on this one.
Becky is set up to hate Charlotte because Charlotte didn't deserve the title, and when Becky went to go get it, they put Charlotte in front of her
it doesn't. Again, it's very. It doesn't. It's two different things, but there's a similar correspondence as far as when it comes to the title. When it comes to the title, the title is what she wanted. What did
The
she say?
title is what she wanted, but she lost a friend on the way only because she thought the friend was in the wrong because she thought Charlotte was placed there to stop her from reaching it. It's totally different.
And then the friction with
two competitors, bro.
Okay, we can even say that's different, but that still doesn't change the fact that there's no way that you could have me on the side of my friend who I'm going to go fight, or have me on the side of somebody who I'm going to go fight in 2 weeks for something that's going to give me the biggest paychecks, the most money, the most notoriety, the face on the bus.
If you have what I want, and we
have what I want,
if we have to do battle for it, bro, I don't hate you.
Why not?
I just want it because
Why don't you hate me?
Because I want that. I want the prize.
And I'm standing in your way. I'm the one that's standing in your way.
But I don't need to hate you because you standing in my way. That's the problem. I don't have to have hate.
That would make this so much more entertaining if they hate each other.
No, it wouldn't. No,
they can still be faces and hate each other.
No, it doesn't. That's defeats the whole purpose of being a face.
They could. Okay. Perfect. Another example of two faces who didn't like each other and still could coexist or whatever, do what they like. Again, The Rock was always, whenever him and Chris Jericho were around, and they had to go talk, or it was The Rock and Chris Jericho when they were talking shit about like Shane and Booker T.
And Chris Jericho was a heel when he first came in.
They were both faces. They both didn't like each other. But they both weren't like.
You calling Chris Jericho a face when he first came from WCW?
No, it wasn't when they first came. Never mind. It wasn't when because this was not when they first came in. It's like a year later.
So
when they were both faces, and they both would go against each other, and they had animosity because they were both faces. You can still have conflict with each other and be good guys. You don't have to be smiling and happy.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to hate your competition if there's no reason to hate your competition.
It would make it so much better. It would make this better.
And that's the problem. WWE has to manufacture the shit.
It would make this better.
Problem. 2 weeks in a row they lose to the Usos because one of the other guys hit the other person.
And we knew and this is why this was not as good, because we knew that this was going to happen. I called this from the beginning as soon as I saw it again. Like,
I called
what's going to happen.
Weeks ago. I said they had to do something like this. I was the one who said Daniel Bryan going to end up on a collision course with AJ Styles on some respectful shit. But that's what I'm saying, bro. You don't have to hate your competition, but they have to manufacture the hate for people like you for the entertainment value. You see what I'm saying?
Well, again, my original point is they should hate each other.
No, they shouldn't.
They should hate each other because this would be much more enjoyable if they hate each other.
I hate this conversation right now. Let's go
on. So then,
that's why we do this pod for listeners.
So we get the Usos versus Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. They pretty much do the same replay as they did last week, where somebody does something that costs them the match. I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan. Give me your take on this, Ish.
I'm always glad when the Usos can get back up on top, especially over two great single competitors like DB and AJ Styles. Piggybacking off of what you said, though, I don't like how they have to set up the feud between AJ Styles and DB going in the Crown Jewel, though. There was other ways to set this up.
So true.
But if you're going to do it this way, why not let the Usos get some shine off of it?
Yeah, that's the best thing that came out of this. It was a very, very good match. Like, I'd watch it back again. From an entertainment, from a storyline aspect, you knew what was going to happen. It ended the way it did. I was good. I was glad to see the Usos get a win. They celebrate and they do what they got to do. I guess we've spent enough time on this already. So we can move on.
Way more than enough.
Yeah. They go backstage. Oh, well, we're still on the thing. And, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles have a little bit of a backstage segment. AJ Styles kind of gets mocked by Daniel Bryan with the too sweet thing. I thought that one was pretty cool. Then they lead to the video of Charlotte speaking at the Performance Center.
This is one of my favorite parts to the night, bro.
Then Becky shows up and they start to throw blows, man. I liked it a lot, and it was good because they mixed up, what they're doing. Because it was getting kind of stale, you seeing her them fight each other backstage. But, she followed her to the Performance Center. They were fighting then. They had some really good words, back and forth. Becky had a classic line. Man, do you remember what she said?
Of course, bro.
Run it back,
talked about it on No Jobbers Allowed. Prediction show for WWE's all-women's pay-per-view Evolution this Sunday, October 28th. So, when she interrupted Charlotte at the Performance Center, after they get into it and they pull them away and they dragging Becky out, Charlotte goes, "Who do you think you are?" And on cue, bro, Becky hits back with the coldest line ever. "I'm the women's champ." And that solidified it for me. Becky gotta keep this strap. She needs to break the record for longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. She has to break it.
She's golden right now. I love this segment. I loved everything about it. It was one of the high points of SmackDown for me.
But like we talked about in the bonus cast, bro, Charlotte, for whatever reason, just ain't got no heat when it comes to Becky.
Nothing.
None.
Zero. None. That's a bad thing for Charlotte, man.
As a face, you ain't got no heat?
They got to retool that somehow, some way after this feud is over. They got to have her go against somebody who we all actually hate, to get her at least some of her credibility back as a good guy character.
Because Becky, we talked about it on the prediction show, no matter what Becky does, she gets the pops out this. She on nuclear right now. All the heat from the fans. We love her. No matter what she does that's dastardly, we love her, bro. Like, she got all the heat. If you take the belt from her, it's going to be a mass exodus away from what they doing in the SmackDown's woman division. Because if you take that belt off of Becky this Sunday, it's over. We not going to stand for it. We want Becky with the belt. Y'all got to keep Becky with the belt. I don't know what y'all going to do with Charlotte after Sunday, but she better not come off with that strap.
WWE, this is the best thing we got going right now. Keep it going.
But, like, that being said, let's go ahead and move on, bro.
Let's keep this going. Then up next, we have Rusev versus Aiden English. Again, man, if I could say one of the things I was really, really high on, I was really high on this feud going into it with the one night in Milwaukee. They set it up perfectly. Now it's kind of like, I don't know if this is the payoff. I don't know what this is, but this ended with Rusev getting the win on Chicago's own Aiden English. I mean, Lana did interfere, but I didn't like this. I didn't like the way that this ended. Hopefully they have some kind of real end to it, because I felt like they had something going, really, really good with the whole one night Milwaukee thing. Hopefully they can rebound from it. What do you think about this?
It's an attitude storyline with a PG booking. They couldn't go as far as they should have with this. And that's unfortunate. And I understand from a business standpoint, keeping the audience that you have, but you had a really, really good angle with this.
It was so good.
And in the past, y'all would have ran this angle a lot longer. This was still years ago. Y'all would have ran this a little bit longer. One night in Milwaukee would have been weeks longer. And y'all wouldn't have ended it with this Aiden was the one that was on the other side. Y'all would have went with the fact that Lana probably did want Aiden, and we would have went a lot further. So getting the bookings that we get now aren't bad. I won't call them bad because I still been enjoying it. The payoff is just different because of the climate we're in. And this payoff isn't that great. because you had a match with Aiden English and Rusev. But where do you go from here? We know Lana loves Rusev. We know Aiden was lying and she never tried to cheat on Rusev. So where do we go from here? There's nothing great that's going to come out of this. So I expect we don't see this coming up in the next few SmackDown. I expect they try to make us forget about it with some decent bookings for Rusev because for some reason they keep him at mid cards and lower anyway. So I don't expect this to come back up too heavily in the future.
Which is sad because they could have really made English a star with this.
Really, bro, they really
made him a star.
Pushed him hard.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see something more. Not necessarily more on this angle, but just more from these two individual superstars because they're both really, really good. Moving along, we get Miz TV next. And the guest on the show is Rey Mysterio. And they go back and forth. And my favorite line from Rey, I think he said something like, I wish this was Truth TV.
Yeah!
Yeah.
What he said. He said, I'm sorry, I thought I was booked on Truth TV.
Yeah, man. I love that. I love that. You know, they go back and forth. It's great to see Rey back in there. And eventually it leads up to Rey Mysterio versus The Miz in a very, very entertaining Rey Mysterio match. Miz is great. Always a good heel. A perfect example of what a heel should be on the mic with his tactics, the things he says, are going to go up against the perennial babyface in Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio gets the win.
Wait. Side note: has Rey Mysterio ever been heel?
Never.
He can't be. I ever seen a booking where Rey Mysterio was heel.
He can't be. There's no way. His moveset is too happy-go-lucky. He wears a mask. There's no way you can make me hate this man. There's no way.
I don't think there is either. Like, I always love Rey Mysterio. You know, I was a huge WCW Cruiserweight fan, so watching him, the Jerichos, the Eddie Guerreros back then was incredible. I don't know if you could ever make Rey Mysterio a heel, bro.
You can't. So it's impossible. And I think it goes in the fact that the dude's like 5'5", and he's in a business where he goes.
He would be a believable heel.
No, there's no way he could do anything that would make me think. And we've watched him perform too much magic over the past 20, 25 years for him to be a believable heel. So he gets the win in this one. I liked it a lot. It was, your typical Rey Mysterio, Miz, great match. What'd you think about it?
Thought it was great, of course, and the segue into it, once again, hey, I thought I was being booked on Truth TV. Shout out to Truth TV. R-Truth and Carmella, I want to see more. Yeah, that segment on SmackDown Live 1000 was dope.
Yeah.
So, going from there, Rey Mysterio is always, like we talked about last week, he's a man that kept in shape, kept his abilities up, and once again, he's always been a small guy, so which means he had to work on more high-flying moves. The fact that he can still move the way he does at the age he is just a testament to how hard he works. So this match was incredible. And of course, Miz, like, I used to give him crap when he first started it years and years ago. I don't want to date myself to the listeners, but right after he left the Real World stuff and started in Tough Enough and all that, I said, why is this reality star trying to do this wrestling stuff? But I had to get over that, bro, real fast because Miz proved he was a good competitor. So watching this match between the two, old school and new school, it was really good. And of course, hey, going into Crown Jewel, Rey Mysterio needed some good, a good kind of pop and a good push, a decent push. So we can see at least him win one match in a tournament in Crown Jewel. So that's what I thought about the match. I thought it was great. I seen him hit a 619, which I love. I seen him do some high flying acrobatics. I seen him really do some ring work. And really bring up Miz's stock because Miz worked really well with Ray Tuesday. So I thought that was dope too. So that's all I really got to say about it. Ray took the win because he needed to take that win going into Crown Jewel. What you think, bro?
Oh man, I liked it. I liked it a lot. He needed that win. It was one of the high points on SmackDown for me. So segueing on, the next segment we had, it was supposed to be, well, it started off as a tag team match with Naomi and Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And pretty much what this just turned out into, it's kind of showcasing some of the competitors in the Women's Battle Royal, because we had Mandy Rose out there and the Iconics and Peyton Royce, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. They interrupt to cut a promo on how they're going to win the Battle Royal. Then Lana's out there, and then Carmella interrupts. Then Zelina Vega runs out, and then everything kind of everybody starts brawling, and it just was to showcase, the Women's Battle Royal. Didn't really feel bad about it. Didn't really feel good about it. It was just kind of there for me. How'd you feel about this segment?
About the same as you, bro. I ain't gonna front. I always love my Asuka. I love Naomi. Dislike the Iconics, but the listeners know that, and it just is what it is. Shout out to Zelina Vega. Like you said, it was just a booking to get the fans excited for this Sunday. I don't have a problem with it. Could they have done it better, after actual win? Possibly, but it is what it is. I enjoyed it. I'm still excited about Sunday, so they didn't need to do this, but the fact that they didn't turn me off for Sunday. So
it got its job done. So not mad at it. Next we get an appearance from SmackDown's commissioner Shane McMahon, and he's hyping up Crown
Here comes
Jewel.
the money.
That's my guy, man. He was hyping up Evolution, hyping up Crown Jewel, hyping up the World Cup tournament. One of my favorite parts about this promo was the fans started chanting CM Punk, and Shane smoothly tells them he's not in the tournament, or I don't believe he's in the tournament. It was hilarious. I love it when the McMahons respond to those chants like that. So it's pretty much just him hyping up the tournament, letting us know that it's going to happen. Then we get what is the main event for the evening, which is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. Again, I thought we were back in 2007 or 2008. It was, it showcased, Randy Orton did the thing with going in dude's ear again. And, again, I think they could have done a little bit more with just having Jeff Hardy just all of a sudden appear back on TV. They could have added some more story to this match. I didn't dislike it. Didn't really, really like it. It was kind of there for me. I've seen it before. It was a good way to end SmackDown. And pretty much their angle is to hype up that World Cup tournament. What'd you think about this?
Bro, like always, I don't lie to you or the listeners. I turned it away from this match. This was not a match I felt like seeing. Just watched it at Hell in a Cell not too long ago. Why do I need to watch it as a main event on a SmackDown? Especially when I'm going to see it in a couple weeks on Crown Jewel anyway. I turned the channel. I did not need to see the rest of it. So everything you just said, I will just have to agree with you, bro. Because I did not watch it. I just turned the channel. I love both competitors. Love Jeff Hardy. I always been a fan of the Hardy Boys. And Lita is my hardcore queen. I always liked Randy Orton, the Viper. He'd always been my guy, even when he became the Legend Killer. But no, I was not caring about this match. I turned the TV. I turned on to a movie.
Well, I mean, you didn't miss much. You can go back and watch it on Hulu or whatever if you need to. But it just was serving to get us excited for Crown Jewel, and it didn't do that good of a job. Didn't make me any more excited. Didn't make me any more or less excited. But listeners, that is our review for Raw and SmackDown for this week. I'm excited for Evolution this Sunday. We got a lot of content that we have to talk about coming up. I'm pumped, man. So what do you think, Ish?
I'm him too, bro.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this Sunday. Once again, listeners, go check out No Jobbers Allowed, WWE Evolution, all women's pay-per-view prediction show. It's up on YouTube now. Remember to like and subscribe. And then, it's been No Jobbers Allowed, episode 6, and I'm your boy, Big Ish, and with me is...
It's your guy, Irwin.
And we out. Listen to this music.
We out.